What's going on, y'all? So this is my tutorial for M1 Finance for beginners. If you're just getting started, I didn't really see too many tutorials on this, so I wanted to make one myself. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. It's not going to be too long, not going to take up too much of y'all time. Let's get started. Bear with me. So first of all, portfolio. Now I'm going to walk you through the things that I think that you should be worried about. Now, you don't want to really worry about spend or borrow when you, as a beginner investing in M1 Finance. You don't really want to worry about that too much. So anyways, as far as portfolio, so the name of your pie is going to be right here, so that whatever you name your pie is going to be right here. The current value of your pie is right here, the total amount that you have in there. This is the total amount that you have gained through investing. Your return. Your cash balance is the money that you have available to buy more stocks. This auto invest option is really self-explanatory. Basically what this is so you see this $13.57. So I just turned mine on today. My minimum cash balance is $10 and it's over $10. So with that being said, this money will be invested in more stocks. And it's not nothing random. You actually get to choose them. So let's go ahead and keep walking through. So what I meant by that, you can choose them by going to edit, and you'll see the percentages, and you can pick which percentage of the money of how much of the money that you want going into each of the stocks. So I have this at 74%, so I want most of that money going into this stock here, and the rest of these are 1%. So I really don't want too much of that money going in there, right? So now this right here, these are the stocks that you are invested in and the value of them, the current value, not what you put in there, the current value. So with that being said, that means it could be, if you lost money on a stock, this will be the current value now. If you gained money on the stock, this will be the current value now. These are your gains / returns, right? Okay, and another thing, when you have the auto invest on, it will always invest the next day at 6:30 a.m., which is when the stock market opens. Where I am, I'm actually in the U.S., United States, California. We basically, the stock market basically be up and running at 6:30. So as far as the activity, now if you're an investor that likes to invest in dividend stocks, now I did make a video on dividend stocks. If you guys don't know what that means or what that is or what the hell I'm talking about, go check out that video. Go like and subscribe on that video. I'm not gonna actually explain that on this video. That's a whole nother, video. But in your activity page, these are your dividends and how much money that you deposited, right? So these are your deposits and your dividends, right? Pretty simple. So I'm gonna just try to get through this real fast, as fast as I can, explaining it the best as I can, right? So holdings, these are basically the stocks that you're invested in, which was in the main page, the portfolio page. It's the same thing. just a different page, right? So these are your holdings. Holdings. Funding history. This is how much money that you have put in over time, what year that you put the money in, your withdrawals as well. So I'm gonna let y'all get a look at this real quick before I move on. So in 2019, I put 300 in. In 2019, I also took out $109.22. 2020, I put 900 in, etc., etc. Right? Now, your bank connection. All this is basically the bank account that you're connected with to be able to fund your portfolio, right? So that's pretty simple. So that's all that is. It's real simple. Now, like I was telling you guys, it's not beginners right here. This spin card, 10% cash back, all this stuff. You don't really want to worry about this as a beginner. Borrow, like I was this too. Me personally, I wouldn't really recommend a beginner to messing around with, borrowing. That's kind of like getting in the lane of loans, and you got to be careful with that type of stuff. You got to pay that stuff back. But I will say they got a good, a good rate. 2%. That's not too bad. And actually, we can actually do some numbers right now to show you that that's not too bad. But like I said, I'm not going to really jump into it too much. I'm going to just throw out a random number, and we're going to see what, how the rates is looking. Right? So let's say you have $5,000 right in your account. They let you borrow up to what? 35% of your portfolio. Okay. So it'd be 35%. So if you have $5,000, you'll be able to borrow $1,750, so $1,750, right? So 2% of that. Okay, so yeah, so you will be able to borrow $1,750, and 2% of that is 35, right? I feel like if you go ahead and borrow that money and throw it into another investment, you could easily make $35, right? But we're not going to jump into that too much. So basically what this page is, the research market news page. This is basically a page that shows news stock articles, I would rather say, pulled from different websites. Animal Finance pulls them from different, websites, and it has a lot of good stuff on here, so you can see which stock that you would like to invest in, and you think it'll bring you a good return. Now over here on the left side is the overall market and how it's doing. It shows that SPY, DIA, QQQ, right? And that's pretty much it for this page. The stock page. Now this page shows you all the available stocks you can invest in. And as you can see on the left, it has a search bar to where you can put in your, what kind of stocks you're looking for, what kind of percentage, dividend yield that you're looking for, PE ratio, market capitalization, all that good stuff. Also the sectors, are you interested in the food industry? Are you interested in electronics, construction, finance and insurance, healthcare, right? So it has a pretty much detailed layout, where you can easily just scan it. Also, they have a search bar here if you have a specific one that you have in mind that you heard somewhere or seen on a news article, right? So that's basically what this page is. The fund page. This is basically mutual funds. Now, I wouldn't really say this is a beginner type of, I wouldn't really mess with mutual funds. I would actually learn, stick with the stocks. Learn stocks, learn how they move, You know, learn dividend stocks before you move on to mutual funds and bonds and all that other type of stuff. But mutual funds, they're also good as well. They pay out dividends. Okay, so your pies. Now this right here, people might be a little confused about this, but don't get confused. It's really not that confusing at all. So basically what this is this is my pie that I have right now, what you guys are seeing. And this is another pie, right? With a whole bunch of different other stocks in them, right? Mutual funds. Now this is a pie I created back in 2019, but I ended up creating a different one that was more to my liking. But this one was always there, and it never got deleted. I never deleted it, so it's just been there. And basically you can connect this pie to your other pie by going here and adding it to portfolio. So that's something cool, that you can do with that. Now, expert pies. Now, this is not really nothing. It's nothing expert about this. It's just, I guess you could say an AI, artificial intelligence type of, okay. So like if you're an aggressive investor, you would pick the pie that's based on, being aggressive. Or if you're kind of like a moderate investor, you kind of don't want to put too much money in there. You kind of want to have some liquid cash. You would go with that. You would go with that pie. So you can go scan through this and look through different things and see what they got on here and see. Now that's if you want to, or like myself, you can create your own pie. Now, I would create my own pie because it's better to follow. You lead you better than anybody else could, right? Depending on the individual. Okay, so now, watch lists. These are the stocks that, when they're on your watch list, these are the stocks that you're looking to get into. You're just watching them, you're seeing how they move, you're seeing they're going down, they're going up. You want to catch them while they're going down so you can have the profit when they go up, right? So that's basically all this watch list is. It's just stocks that you haven't invested in quite yet and that you might be looking to get into the future, right? Now transfers, excuse me. Basically all this is basically all the money transfers that you have had going to your bank account, to your portfolio pie, right? So it'll show you all the money that you invested. It'll show you the date, so you have a record of that, right? All that good stuff. This option right here, move money. You can transfer between any account, create a funding schedule, transfer money among M1 accounts automatically with rules. Roll over your 401k, all that stuff. I wouldn't really worry too much about that as a beginner. Just focus on creating your pie and making a watch list and watching the watch list and get in at a good point in time where you know that the stock is going to go back up so you can get some profit going. And I would also say advise you to get into some dividend stocks. Now, this is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just letting you know my opinion. I'm just I'm just making videos on YouTube. That's all I'm here doing. Just trying to give y'all a little help here for the beginners. So that's basically my tutorial for the beginners. Everything I explained, you should pretty much have a basis on what it is that you're doing, so you're not walking in the platform blind and you know what's going on. It won't take you too long to figure it out. If I'm kind of talking too fast, I'm sorry about that. You could always just replay the video and give me a like and subscribe if you learned something. If not, that's cool, but I'd appreciate it if you give me a like and subscribe. It actually pushes me through the YouTube algorithm. And thank you guys. This is my YouTube tutorial on the M1 Finance.